I'm Erin Ries, and while we're all sheltering in place, AHA School for the Arts online classes are such a great idea. I thought I'd create one for everyone as well. And this one is on how to create a book, or you could create a card or even a calendar. But today we're going to create a book on Photo, the app that used to be called iPhoto on a Mac. So if you have a Mac, come join me and listen along. Here we go. So what we do to start is we go to this icon that's on your Mac called Photos, and you click that. And I was cheating. I actually had this open already. And I'm going to select some photos to get us started to understand how to do this. So if you have a group of photos like I have right here, and you can see I'm circling it with my mouse, I'm going to actually hit the Shift key and click on one, and you notice all of them got highlighted. You see the little pink around the photos. Then I'm going to go to File at the top, click that, and then I go to the word Create, and you can see all the way over here. It gives me options: book, calendar, card. We're going to do a book. And then you'll notice when you scroll over where the arrow is pointing, it's giving me options because I've already downloaded some apps. MPix, which I don't like actually, and Mimeo Photos, which I love because it's got lots of options for creating books, and it's relatively inexpensive. And if you don't have those, you can go to the App Store and download it. But we're just going to go right to Mimeo Photos, and now it's opening. And it gives me lots of options of books that I can create. That noise you're hearing in the background is our cat. She has to be wherever we are. So just ignore that. Anyway, so I'm going to select, you see here, it's already selected hardcover, 8.5 by 11. But I could pick this instead. But we're going to just go with something easy. 8.5 by 11 fits on the bookshelf nicely. And it's only $29.99 for 20 pages. So here we go. Then I go to the bottom here where it says cancel or create. I click create, and it's going to start my book. And so now you'll see it's giving me even more options. So I selected that 8.5 by 11, but you can see it shows you can create a book, blank book, create your own design. I wouldn't do that if you've never done this before. You can do a book with 22 photos minimum. So you have to pay attention to that, because if you pick a book with 32 photos minimum and you only have 20, you're going to have to start over. So let's pick the book that says 22 photos minimum. So I click on the select button. And sure, we keep hearing our cat. And then you'll see there's even Chris, what is that called? A spine? I forget what that's called. The spine. Mm-hmm. So you can actually type in there, and you notice I clicked on it with my mouse, and the little text box shows up, and you'll see this over here. It opened this automatically because I added these photos. So we're just gonna click that so it goes away. So you can see here, I can name my spine. I'm gonna call it AHA Tutorial Book. And then I'm going to go, and then you can even, right here, you can select the text, the font. And you can also select the size of your font. But we're gonna just go past that for a second and go to the fun part, which is the book cover. And so what we'll do is we'll click on this right here, and you'll see there's a blue outline that allows you to make edits to your cover. And then you go to this little icon here called Photos, and all the photos that you added to your book are right here. So I can say, oh, I think I want a picture of myself and Chris on the cover. So I touch that, and I touch this, and it shows up. Isn't that cool? And then you can decide, you can go with the style of the book if you like it, or if you're not feeling clever today and you don't want a title, you can just hit the trash can and it goes away. And then you can add a title here. You can say, this was spring. There, we'll call it Springtime. And it's even fixing my spelling errors. I love that. And then you can see here that that word springtime doesn't really look good. It's not showing up. So we can go to this text edit, and you notice all this comes up when I click on that, and I can choose to make that type black. And if I think, oh, it still doesn't show up very well, I can make it bold. And I can also change the font. See all these fun fonts? I can make it more bold. And even more exciting, if I decide I don't like that, I can click this where it says, you probably can't read this, it says transform. I can click that and I can move this. I can move it over here where I can read it better. And then I get an alert because I have moved it too far, and it says some text may be cut off when printed. So we pay attention to that and we move it back. Okay, so now we've got our cover. And then you can see down here, there are little arrows, and all these are your pages. So you just click these, and you can work on the inside of your book. You can even click on the dust cover, and you can say, oh, I want a picture on my dust cover. So you go to Layout, and you can pick a photo. Or say, oh, I don't like that, I want this photo. This will look better. And then you can go to your photos, and you can pick a vertical that fits over there. So you notice I just dragged it, but you don't have to do that. You could trash can it, and you could click on it. If it'll let me. It's not letting me. What a good teacher I'm not. Anyway, we'll just drag it again. So you can drag it right in there. And you can also use the little hand tool, and you can move the picture around, or you can enlarge it and then move it around. See how I'm moving it? So there's lots of things you can do in here to fix your photo. You can also do that free transform like I showed you with the type. You can move this, you can pick that up and move it. See how I'm moving it? And if you decide you wanted copy here, you could X out of that, go to your text, add an empty text box. And you see how it just showed up here? I can move it, and I can put words here. Words here. And then I can pick my font again. I could say, oh, I want that. But 57 point is too big, so maybe we want 12 point. And then you can decide if you want it centered under the picture or flush left. And then you go out of that, and then you can look at what you've done. And basically you keep doing that through every single page. X out of the text portion. Go to your layout. If you don't like that it's one photo, you can pick 3. And you see I have 3 photos here. You could pick 3 in a different shape. You can go back. You can say, no, I only have 22 photos. I'm just going to do 1 photo. Or you could do 1 photo and some text. And then you could go to your text box, and you can add a text box again. Remember this little tool where it allows you to move it, and then you can squish it over, and you can add more text, and there's your, oops, I spelled it wrong. And then the good news about photos is that it does correct your text, but not if the word is actually a word. So if you meant to write text and you wrote test, and you don't catch it, your book prints with that. Pretty funny. Anyway, so then you can go X out of that. You go to your photos. You pick another photo that you want in here. Me, what the heck, me skate skiing. And there it is, my next page. So this is pretty easy.